The book of Nehemiah of the King James Version Bible. Nehemiah chapter 1. The words of Nehemiah, the son of Hakaliah. And it came to pass in the month of Chislev, in the 12th year, as I was in Shushan the palace, that Hananiah, one of my brethren, came, he and certain men of Judah, and I asked them concerning the Jews that had escaped, which were left of the captivity, concerning Jerusalem. And they said unto me, the remnant that are left of the captivity there in the province are in great affliction and reproach. The wall of Jerusalem also is broken down, and the gates thereof are burned with fire. And it came to pass, when I heard these words, that I sat down and wept and mourned certain days, and fasted, and prayed before Mighty God AHAYAH of heaven. And I said, I beseech thee, O Mighty God AHAYAH, my Elohim of heaven, the great and terrible God, that keepeth covenant and mercy for them that love him, and observe his commandments. Let thine ear now be attentive, and thine eyes open, that thou mayest hear the prayer of thy servant, which I pray before thee now day and night, for the children of Israel thy servants, and confess the sins of the children of Israel, which we have sinned against thee. Both I and my father's house have sinned. We have dealt very corruptly against thee, and have not kept the commandments, nor the statutes, nor the judgments, which thou commandest thy servant Moses. Remember, I beseech thee, the word that thou commandest thy servant Moses, saying, if you transgress, I will scatter you abroad among the nations. But if you turn unto me, and keep my commandments, and do them, though there were of you cast out unto the uttermost part of the heaven, yet I will gather them from thence, and will bring them into the place that I have chosen to set my name there. Now these are thy servants and thy people, whom thou hast redeemed by thy great power and by thy strong hand. O AHAYAH our King, I beseech thee, let now thine ear be attentive to thy prayer of thy servant, and to the prayer of thy servants, who desire to fear thy name, and prosper, I pray thee, thy servant this day, and grant his mercy in the sight of this man. For I was the king's cupbearer. And it came to pass in the month of Nisan, chapter 2. And it came to pass in the month of Nisan, in the 20th year of Artaxerxes, the king, that wine was before him. And I took up the wine, and gave it unto the king. Now I had not been before time sad in his presence. Wherefore the king said unto me, why is thy countenance sad, seeing thou art not sick? This is nothing else but sorrow or of heart. Then I was very sore afraid, and said unto the king, let the king live forever. Why should not my countenance be sad, when the city, the place of my father's sepulchres, lieth waste, and the gates thereof are consumed with fire? Then the king said unto me, for what dost thou make request? So I prayed to Mighty God AHAYAH of heaven. And I said unto the king, if it please the king, and if thy servant have found favor in thy sight, that thou wouldest send me unto Judah, and to the city of my father's sepulchres, that I may build it. The king said unto me, the queen also sitting by him, for how long shall thy journey be? And when wilt thou return? So it pleased the king to send me, and I set him a time. Moreover, I said unto the king, if it please the king, let letters be given me to the governors beyond the river, that they may convey me over till I come unto Judah. And a letter unto Asaph, the keeper of the king's forest, that he may give me timber to make beams for the gates of the palace, which are appertain to the house, and for the wall of the city, and for the house that I shall enter into. The king granted me according to the good hand of my Mighty God AHAYAH upon me. Then I came to the governors beyond the river, and gave them the king's letters. Now the king had sent captains of the army of horsemen with me. When Sanballat the Horonite, and Tobiah the servant, the Ammonite, heard of it, it grieved them exceedingly that there was come a man to seek the welfare of the children of Israel. So I came to Jerusalem, and was there 3 days. And I arose in the night, and I saw few men with me, neither told I any man what my mighty God AHAYAH had put in my heart to do at Jerusalem, neither was there any beast with me, save the beast that I rode upon. And I went out by night by the gate of the valley, even before the dragon well, and to the dung port, and viewed the walls of Jerusalem, which were broken down, and the gates thereof were consumed with fire. Then I went on to the gate of the fountain, and to the king's pool, but there was no place for the beast that was under me to pass. Then went I up in the night by the brooks, and viewed the wall, and turned back, and entered by the gate of the valley, and so returned. And the rulers knew not whither I went, or what I did, neither had I as yet told it to the Jews, nor to the priests, nor to the nobles, nor to the rulers, nor to the rest that did the work. Then said I unto them, You see the distress that we are in, how Jerusalem lieth waste, and the gates thereof are burned with fire. Come and let us build up the wall of Jerusalem, that we be no more a reproach. Then I told them of the hand of mighty God AHAYAH, which was good upon me, as also the king's word that he had spoken unto me. And they said, Let us rise up and build. So they strengthened their hands for this good work. But when Sanballat the Horonite, and Tobiah the servant, the Ammonite, and Geshem the Arabian heard it, they laughed us to scorn, and despised us, and said, What is this thing that you do? You will rebel against the king? Then answered I them, and said unto them, The God of heaven, AHAYAH, will prosper us, therefore we his servants will arise and build, but you have no portion, nor right, nor memorial in Jerusalem. Chapter 3. Then Eliashib the high priest rose up with his brethren the priests, and they built the sheep gate. They sanctified it, and set up the doors of it, even into the tower of Meah. They sanctified it into the tower of Hananel. And next unto him build the men of Jericho, and next to them build Zaccur the son of Imri. But the fish gate did the sons of Hasaniah build, who also laid the beams thereof, and set up the doors thereof, the locks thereof, and the bars thereof. And next unto them repaired Meremoth the son of Uriah, the son of Koz, and next unto them repaired Meshullam the son of Berechiah, the son of Meshezabel, and next unto them repaired Zadok the son of Baana. And next unto them the Tekoites repaired, but their nobles put not their necks to the work of mighty God AHAYAH. Moreover, the old gate repaired Jehoiada the son of Persah, and Meshullam the son of Besadiah. They laid the beams thereof, and set up the doors thereof, and the locks thereof, and the bars thereof. And next unto them repaired Melatiah the Gabonite, and Jadon the Meronothite, the son of Gibeon, and Mespah unto the throne of the governor of this side the river. Next unto him repaired Uzziel, sorry for the names, Uzziel the son of Horiah of the goldsmiths. Next unto him also repaired Hananiah the son of one of the apothecaries, and they fortified Jerusalem into the broad wall. Excuse me for the names. And next unto them repaired Rephaiah the son of Hur, the ruler of the half part of Jerusalem. And next unto them repaired Jedaiah the son of Harumaph, even unto against his house. And next unto him repaired Hastush the son of Hashbaniah, Malchijah the son of Harim, and Hashab the son of Pathmoab repaired the other pieces and the tower of the furnaces. And next unto him repaired Shallum the son of Halohesh, the ruler of half part of Jerusalem, and his daughters. The valley gate repaired Hanan, and the inhabitants of Zonaah. They built it, and set up the doors thereof, the locks thereof, and the bars thereof, and 1,000 cubits of the wall unto the dung gate. But the dung gate repaired Melchiah the son of Rechab, the ruler of part of Beth-Hasserim, but built it, and set up the doors thereof, the locks thereof, and the bars thereof. But the gate of the fountain repaired Shalom the son of Kohozah, the ruler of part of Mespah. He built it, and covered it, and set up the doors thereof, the locks thereof, and the bars thereof, and the wall of the pool of Selohah by the king's garden unto the stairs that go down from the city of David. After him repaired Nehemiah the son of Azbuk, the ruler of the half part of Bethzur, unto the place over against the sepulchres of David, and into the pool that was made, and into the house of the mighty. After him repaired the Levites Rahum the son of Bani. Next unto him repaired Hashabiah the ruler of half part of the Keilah in his part. After him repaired their brethren Bavai the son of Henadad, the ruler of the half part of Keilah. And next to him repaired Ezer the son of Jeshua, the ruler of Mespah, another piece over against the going up to the armory at the turning of the wall. After him Baruch the son of Zabbai earnestly repaired the other piece, from the turning of the wall into the door of the house of Eliashib the high priest. After him repaired Meremoth the son of Urijah the son of Koz, another piece from the door of the house of Eliashib, even to the end of the houses of Eliashib. Excuse me for the name. And after him repaired the priests, the men of the plain. After him repaired Benjamin and Hashub over against the house. After him repaired Azariah the son of Maaseiah, and the son of Ananiah by his house. After him repaired Benuiah the son of Henadad, another piece from the house of Azariah unto the turning of the wall, even into the corner. Palal the son of Uzai over against the turning of the wall, and the tower which lieth out from the king's high house that was by the court of the prison. After him Pedaiah the son of Parosh. Moreover the Nethinims dwelt in Ophel unto the place over against the water gate toward the east, in the tower that lieth out. After them the Tekoites repaired another piece over against the great tower that lieth out, even into the wall of Ophel. From above the horse gate repaired the priests, every one over against his house. After them repaired Zadok the son of Immer over against his house. After him repaired also Shemaiah the son of Shechaniah, the keeper of the east gate. After him repaired Hananiah the son of Shelemiah, and Hanun the sixth son of Zalaph. Another piece after him repaired Meshullam the son of Berechiah over against his chamber. After him repaired Malchiah the goldsmith's son unto the place of the Nethinims and of the merchants over against the gate Mifkad, and to the going up of the corner. And between the going up of the corner unto the sheep gate repaired the goldsmiths and the merchants. Chapter 4. But it came to pass that when Sanballat heard that we build the wall, he was wroth, and took great indignation, and mocked the Jews. And he spake before his brethren and the army of Samaria, and said, What do these feeble Jews? Will they fortify themselves? Will they sacrifice? Will they make an end in a day? Will they revive the stones out of the heaps of the rubbish with which are burned? Now Tobiah the Ammonite was by him, and he said, Even that which they build, if a fox go up, he shall even break down their stone walls. Hear, O mighty God AHAYAH, for we are despised, and turn their reproach upon them. Hear, O mighty God AHAYAH, for we are despised, and turn their reproach upon their own head, and give them for a prey in the land of captivity. And cover not their iniquity, and let not their sin be blotted out from before thee, for they have provoked thee to anger before the builders. So built we the wall, and all the wall was joined together into the half thereof, for the people had a mind to work. But it came to pass that when Sanballat and Tobiah and the Arabians and the Ammonites and the Ashdodites heard that the wall of Jerusalem were made up, and that the breaches began to be stopped, then they were very wroth, and conspired all of them together to come and to fight against Jerusalem, and to hinder it. Nevertheless, we made our prayer unto mighty God AHAYAH, and set a watch against them day and night because of them. And Judah said, the strength of the bearers of burdens is decayed, and there is much rubbish, so that we are not able to build the wall. And our adversaries said, they shall not know neither see till we come in the midst among them, and slay them, and cause the work to cease. And it came to pass that when the Jews which dwelt by them came, they said unto us 10 times, from all places whence you shall return unto us, they will be upon you. Therefore set I in the lower places behind the wall, and on the higher places. I even set the people after their families, with their swords, their spears, and their bows. And I looked and rose up, and said unto the nobles, and to the rulers, and to the rest of the people, be not afraid of them. Remember mighty God AHAYAH, which is great and terrible, and fight for your brethren, your sons and your daughters, your wives and your houses. And it came to pass, when our enemies heard that it was known unto us, and mighty God AHAYAH had brought their counsel to naught, that we returned all of us to the wall, every one unto his work. And it came to pass from the time forth that the half of my servants wrought in the work, and the other half of them held both the spears, the shields, and the bows, and the habergeons, and the rulers were behind all the house of Judah. They which build on the wall, and they that bear burdens, with those that laid it, every one with one of his hands wrought in the work, and with the other hand held a weapon. For the builders every one had his sword girded by his side, and so builded. And he that sounded the trumpet was by me. And I said unto the nobles, and to the rulers, and to the rest of the people, the work is great and large, and we are separated upon the wall, one far from another. In what place thereof you heard the sound of the trumpet, resort you thither unto us, our mighty God AHAYAH shall fight for us. So we labored in the work, and half of them held the spears from the rising of the morning till the stars appeared. Likewise at the same time said I unto the people, let every one with his servant lodge within Jerusalem, that in the night they may be a guard to us, and labor on the day. So neither I, nor my brethren, nor my servants, nor the men of the guard which followed me, none of us put off our clothes, saving that every one put them off for washing. Chapter 5. And there was a great cry of the people and of their wives against their brethren the Jews. For there were that said, we are sons, and our daughters are many, therefore we take up corn for them, and we may eat and live. Some also there were that said, we have mortgaged our lands, vineyards, and houses, that we might buy corn because of the dirt. There were also that said, we have borrowed money for the king's tribute, and that upon our lands and vineyards. Yet now our flesh is as the flesh of our brethren, our children as their children, and lo, we bring into bondage our sons and our daughters to be servants, and some of our daughters and brought unto bondage already. Neither is it in our power to redeem them, for other men have our lands and vineyards. And I was very angry when I heard their cry in these words. Then I consulted with myself, and I rebuked the nobles and the rulers, and said unto them, you exact usury every one of his brother. And I set a great assembly against them. And I said unto them, we after our ability have redeemed our brethren the Jews, which were sold unto the heathen, and will you even sell your brethren? or shall they be sold unto us? Then held they their peace, and found nothing to answer. Also I said, it is not good that you not to walk in the fear of Mighty God AHAYAH, because of the reproach of the heathen, our enemies. I likewise and my brethren and my servant might exact of the money and corn. I pray you, let us leave off this usury. Restore, I pray you, to them even this day their lands, their vineyards, their olive yards, and their houses, also the 100th part of the money, and of the corn, the wine, and of the oil, that you exact of them. Then said they, We will restore them, and will require nothing of them. So we will do as thou sayest. Then I called the priest, and took an oath of them, that they should do according to this promise. Also I shook my lap, and said, So Mighty God AHAYAH, shake out every man from his house and from his labor, that performeth not this promise. Even thus be he shaken out and emptied. And all the congregation said, Amen, and praised Mighty God AHAYAH, and the people did according to this promise. Moreover, from the time that I was appointed to be their governor in the land of Judah, from the 20th year even into the 32nd year of Artaxerxes, the king, that is 12 years, I and my brethren had not eaten the bread of the governor. But the former governors that had been before me were chargeable unto the people, and had taken of them bread and wine, besides 40 shekels of silver. Yea, even their servants bare rule over the people. But so did not I, because of the fear of Mighty God AHAYAH. Yea, also I continued in the work of this wall, neither bought we any land, and all my servants were gathered thither into the work. Moreover, there were at my table 150 of the Jews and rulers, besides those that came unto us from among the heathen that are about us. Now that which was prepared for me daily was 1 ox and 6 choice sheep. Also fowls were prepared for me, and once in 10 days. Store of all sorts of wine. Yet for all this required not I the bread of the governor, because the bondage was heavy upon this people. Think upon me, my Mighty God AHAYAH, for good, according to all that I have done for this people. Chapter 6. Now it came to pass, when Sanballat and Tobiah and Gershom the Arabian and the rest of our enemies heard that I had built the wall, and that there was no breach left therein, though at that time I had not set up the doors upon the gates, that Sanballat and Gershom sent unto me, saying, Come, let us meet together in some one of the villages in the plain of Ono. But they thought to do me mischief. And I sent messengers unto them, saying, I am doing a great work, so that I cannot come down. Why should the work cease whilst I leave it and come down to you? Yet they sent it to me 4 times after this sort, and I answered them after the same manner. Then sent Sanballat his servant unto me in like manner, the 5th time, with an open letter in his hand, wherein was written, It is reported among the heathen, and Gashmu said it, that thou and the Jews think to rebel, for which cause thou buildest the wall, that thou mayest be their king, according to these words. And thou hast also appointed prophets to preach of thee at Jerusalem, saying, There is a king in Judah, and now shall it be reported to the king according to these words. Come now, therefore, and let us take counsel together. Then I sent unto him, saying, There are no such things done as thou sayest, but thou figuredst them out of thine own heart. For they all made us afraid, saying, Their hands shall be weakened from their work, that it be not done. Now therefore, O Mighty God AHAYAH, strengthen my hands. Afterward I came into the house of Shemaiah, the son of Delaiah, the son of Mehetabel, who was shut up, and he said, Let us meet together in the house of Mighty God AHAYAH, within the temple, and let us shut the doors of the temple, for they will come to slay thee. Yea, in the night will they come to slay thee. And I said, Should such a man as I flee? And who is there that, being as I am, would go into the temple to save his life? I will not go in. And lo, I perceived that mighty God AHAYAH had not sent him, but that he pronounced this prophecy against me, for Tobiah and Sanballat had hired him. Therefore was he hired, that I should be afraid, and do so, and sin, and that they might have matter for an evil report, that they might reproach me. My mighty God AHAYAH, think thou upon Tobiah and Sanballat, according to these their work, and on the prophetess Noadiah, and the rest of the prophets, that would have put me in fear. So the wall was finished in the 25th day of the month Elul, in the 50th and 2 days. And it came to pass that when all our enemies heard thereof, and all the heathen that were about us saw these things, that were much cast down in their own eyes, for they perceived that this work was wrought of our God. Moreover, in those days the nobles of Judah sent many letters unto Tobiah, and the letters of Tobiah came into them. For there were many in Judah sworn unto him, because he was the son-in-law of Shechaniah the son of Arah, and his son Jehoanah, and taken the daughter of Meshullam, the son of Berechiah. Also they reported his good deeds before me, and uttered my words to him. And Tobiah sent letters to put me in fear. Chapter 7. Now it came to pass, when the wall was built, and I had set up the doors, and the reporters, and the singers, and the Levites were appointed, that I gave my brother Hanani and Hananiah, the ruler of the palace, charge over Jerusalem, for he was a faithful man, and feared mighty God AHAYAH above many. And I said unto them, let not the gates of Jerusalem be open until the sun be hot, and while they stand by, let them shut the doors and bar them, and appoint watchers of the inhabitants of Jerusalem, every one in his watch, and every one two over against his house. Now the city was large and great, but the people were few therein, and the houses were not builded. And my mighty God AHAYAH put into my heart to gather together the nobles and the rulers and the people, that they might be reckoned by genealogy. And I found a register of the genealogy of them which came up at the first, and found written therein, these are the children of the province that went up out of the captivity of those that had been carried away, whom Nebuchadnezzar the king of Babylon had carried away, and came again to Jerusalem and to Judah, every one into his city, who came with Zerubbabel, Joshua, Nehemiah, Azariah, Rahamiah, Nahaniah, Mordecai, Bilsham, Mispereth, Bigvai, Nahum, Bahanah. The number, I say, of the men of the people of Israel was this: the children of Parash 2,172, the children of Shephatiah 372, the children of Arah 652, the children of Pahath-Moab, of the children of Jeshua and Joab 2,818, the children of Elam 1,254, the children of Zatu 845, the children of Zakkai 703 score, the children of Benui 648, the children of Bebai 628, the children of Asgad 2,322, the children of Adonai Kam 603 score and 7, the children of Bigvai 203 score and 7, the children of Adin 655, the children of Ater of Hezekiah 98, the children of Hashum 328, the children of Beziah 324, the children of Hariph 112, the children of Gibeon 95, the men of Bethlehem and Netophath, 180. The men of Anathoth, 128. The men of Beth-Azmath, 40. The men of Kirjathjearim, Chephirah and Beeroth, 743. The men of Ramah and Gaba, 621. The men of Machmas, 122. The men of Bethel and Ai, 123. The men of the other Nebo, 52. The children of the other Elam, 1,254. The children of Harim, 320. The children of Jericho, 345. The children of Lod, Hadid, and Ono, 721. The children of Sinah, 3,930. The priest, the children of Jedediah, of the house of Jeshua, 973. The children of Immer, 1,052. The children of Pashur, 1,247. The children of Harim, 1,017. The Levites, the children of Jeshua and Kadmiel, and of the children of Hadavah, 74. The singers, the children Asaph, 148. The porters, the children of Shallum, the children of Ater, the children of Talmon, the children of Akab, the children of Hatita, the children of Shabai, 138. The Nethinims, the children of Zahah, the children of Hasapha, the children of Tabaath, the children of Keros, the children of Saai, the children of Patan, the children of Lebanah, the children of Hagabah, the children of Shalmai, the children of Hanan, the children of Gadel, the children of Gahar, the children of Rehaniah, the children of Razin, the children of Nekadah, the children of Gazam, the children of Uzzah, the children of Vasa'ah, the children of Basaiah, the children of Meonim, the children of Nephishim, the children of Bakbak, the children of Hakapha, the children of Harha, the children of Baslith, the children of Mehada, the children of Hasha, the children of Borkos, the children of Sisera, the children of Tama, the children of Nizaa, the children of Hatapha, the children of Solomon's servants, the children of Sotai, the children of Sophireth, the children of Perida, the children of Jaala, the children of Darkon, the children of Gadel, the children of Shephatiah, the children of Hatil, the children of Pakareth, and Zabaim, the children of Ammon. All the Nethinims and the children of Solomon's servants were 392. And these were they which went up also from Telmelah, Teharesha, Chereb, Adon, and Immer, but they could not show their father's house, nor their seed, whether they were of Israel. The children of Delaiah and children of Tobiah, the children of Nekodah, 642. And of the priests, the children of Habaiah, the children of Koz, the children of Barzillai, which took one of the daughters of Barzillai, the Gileadite, to wife, and was called after their name. These sought their register among those that were reckoned by genealogy, but it was not found. Therefore were they as polluted put from the priesthood. And the Tershitha said unto them that they should not eat of the most holy things till they stood up a priest with Urim and Thummim. The whole congregation together was 42,360. Besides their men servants and their maid servants, of whom there were 7,330 And they had 245 singing men and singing women. Their horses 736, their mules 245, their camels 435, 6,770 asses, and some of the chief of the fathers gave unto the work. The Tershatha gave to the treasure 1,000 drams of gold, 50 basons, 530 priests' garments. And some of the chief of the fathers gave to the treasure of the work at 20,000 drams of gold, and 2,200 pound of silver. And that which the rest of the people gave was 20,000 drams of gold, and 2,000 pound of silver, and 67 priest garments. So the priests and the Levites and the porters and the singers and some of the people and the Nethinims and all Israel dwelt in their cities. And when the 7th month came, the children of Israel were in their cities. Chapter 8. And all the people gathered themselves together as one man into the street that was before the water gate. And they spake unto Ezra the scribe to bring the book of the law of Moses, which Mighty God AHAYAH had commanded to Israel. And Ezra the priest brought the law before the congregation, both of men and women, and all that could hear with understanding, upon the first day of the 7th month. And he read therein before the street that was before the water gate, from the morning until midday, before the men and the women and those that could understand, and the ears of all people were attentive unto the book of the law. And Ezra the scribe stood upon a pulpit of wood which they had made for the purpose, and beside him stood Mattithiah, and Shema, and Ananiah, and Urijah, and Hilkiah, and Maaseiah on his right hand, and on his left hand Pedaiah, and Mishael, and Malchiah, and Hashum, and Hashbaddanah, Zechariah, and Meshullam. And Ezra opened the book in the sight of all the people, for he was above all the people, and when he opened it, all the people stood up. And Ezra blessed Mighty God AHAYAH, the great mighty God. And all the people answered, Amen, Amen, with lifting up their hands, and they bowed their heads and worshipped Mighty God AHAYAH with their faces to the ground. All Joshua and Bani and Sherebiah, Jamin, Akub, Shabbatiah, Hadajah, Maaseiah, Kelita, Azariah, Joshabad, Hanan, Pelaiah, and the Levites caused the people to understand the law, and the people stood in their place. So they read in the book in the law of Mighty God AHAYAH distinctively, and gave the sense and caused them to understand the reading. And Nehemiah, which is the Tershatha, and Ezra the priest, the scribe, and the Levites that taught the people, said unto all the people, This day is holy unto Mighty God AHAYAH your Elohim. Mourn not, weep not. For all the people wept when they heard the words of the law. Then he said unto them, Go your way, eat the fat, and drink the sweet, and send portions unto them, for whom nothing is prepared. For this day is holy unto our Elohim AHAYAH. Neither be you sorry, for the joy of Mighty God AHAYAH is your strength. So the Levites stilled all the people, saying, Hold your peace, for the day is holy, neither be you grieved. And all the people went their way to eat and to drink, and to send portions, and to make great myrrh, because they had understood the words that were declared unto them. And on the 2nd day were gathered together the chief of the fathers of all the people, the priests and the Levites, unto Ezra the scribe, even to understand the words of the law. And they found written in the law, which Mighty God AHAYAH had commanded by Moses, that the children of Israel should dwell in booths in the feast of the 7th month, and that they should publish and proclaim in all their cities and in Jerusalem, saying, Go forth unto the mount, and fetch olive branches, and pine branches, and myrtle branches, and palm branches, and branches of thick trees to make boots, as it is written. So the people went forth and brought them, and made themselves boots, every one upon the roof of his house, and in their courts, and in the courts of the house of Mighty God AHAYAH, and in the street of the water gate, and in the street of the gate of Ephraim. And all the congregation of them that were come again out of the captivity made boots, and sat under the boots. For since the days of Joshua the son of Nun unto the day had not the children of Israel done so. And there was very great gladness. Also day by day, from the first day unto the last day, he read in the book of the law of Mighty God AHAYAH. And they kept the feast 7 days, and on the 8th day was a solemn assembly according unto the matter. Chapter 9. Now in the 24th day of this month the children of Israel were assembled with fasting, and with sackcloth and earth upon them. And the seed of Israel separated themselves from all strangers, and stood and confessed their sins and the iniquities of their fathers. And they stood up in their place, and read in the book of the law of Mighty God AHAYAH, their Elohim, 1/4 part of the day, and another 4th part they confessed and worshipped Mighty God AHAYAH, their Elohim. Then stood up upon the stairs of the Levites Joshua and Bani, Kadmiel, Shebaniah, Bani, Sherebiah, Bani, and Chenani, and cried with a loud voice unto Mighty God AHAYAH, their Elohim. Then the Levites Jeshua and Kadmiel, Bani, Hashabaniah, Sherebiah, and Hadajah, Shebaniah, and Pethahiah said, Stand up and bless Mighty God AHAYAH, your Elohim, forever and ever. And blessed be thy glorious name, which is exalted above all blessing and praise. Thou art Mighty God AHAYAH alone. Thou hast made heaven, the heaven of heavens, with all their hosts, the earth, and all things that are therein, the seas, and all that is therein, and thou preservest them all, and the host of heaven worship thee. Thou art AHAYAH, our mighty God, who didst choose Abram, and broughtest him forth out of Ur of the Chaldees, and gavest him the name of Abraham, and foundest his heart faithful before thee, and madest a covenant with him to give the land of Canaanites, the Hittites, and Amorites, and the Perizzites, and the Jebusites, and the Girgashites to give it. I say to his seed, and hast performed thy word, for thou art righteous. And didst see the affliction of our fathers in Egypt, and heardest their cry by the Red Sea, and showedest signs and wonders upon Pharaoh, and on all his servants, and on all the people of his land. For thou knowest the day dealt proudly against thee. So didst thou get thee a name, as it is this day. And thou didst divide the sea before them, so that they went through the midst of the sea on the dry land, and their persecutors thou threwest into the deeps, as a stone into the mighty waters. Moreover, thou leddest them in the day by a cloudy pillar, and in the night by a pillar of fire, to give them light in the way wherein they should go. Thou camest down also upon Mount Sinai, and spakest with them from heaven, and gavest them right judgments and true laws, good statutes and commandments, and madest known unto them thy holy Sabbath, and commandest them precepts, statutes, and laws by the hand of Moses thy servant, and gavest them bread from heaven for their hunger, and broughtest forth water for them out of the rock for their thirst, and promised them that they should go in to possess the land which thou hast sworn to give them. But they and our fathers dealt proudly, and hardened their necks, and hardened not to thy commandments, and refused to obey, neither were mindful of thy wonders that thou didst among them, but hardened their necks, and in their rebellion appointed a captain to return to their bondage. But thou art a mighty God, ready to pardon, gracious and merciful, slow to anger, and of great kindness, and forsookest them not. Yeah, when they had made them a molten calf, and said, This is thy God that brought thee up out of Egypt, and had wrought great provocations, yet thou in thy manifold mercies forsook them not in the wilderness. The pillar of the cloud departed not from them by day, to lead them in the way, neither the pillar of fire by night, to show them light in the way wherein they should go. Thou gavest also thy good Spirit to instruct them, and withheldest not thy manna from their mouth, and gavest them water for their thirst. 40 years didst thou sustain them in the wilderness, so that they lacked nothing. Their clothes waxed not old, and their feet swelled not. Moreover, thou gavest them kingdoms and nations, and didst divide them into corners, so they possessed the land of Sihon, and the land of the king of Heshbon, and the land of Og, king of Bashan. The children also multipliedst thou as the stars of heaven, and broughtest them into the land concerning which thou hadst promised to their fathers, that they should go in to possess it. So the children went in and possessed the land, and thou subduedst before them the inhabitants of the land, the Canaanites, and gavest them into their hands, with their kings and the people of the land, that they might do within them as they would. And they took strong cities and a fat land, and possessed houses full of all goods, wells digged, vineyards and olive yards, and fruit trees in abundance. So they did eat, and were filled, and became fat, and delighted themselves in thy great goodness. Nevertheless, they were disobedient, and rebelled against thee, and cast thy law behind their backs, and slew thy prophets which testified against them, to turn them to thee, and they wrought great provocations. Therefore thou deliverest them into the hand of their enemies, who vexed them, and in the time of their trouble, when they cried unto thee, thou heardest them from heaven. And according to thy manifold mercies thou gavest them saviors, who saved them out of the hand of their enemies. But after they had rest, they did evil again before thee. Therefore lettest thou them in the hand of their enemies, so that they had the dominion over them. Yet when they returned and cried unto thee, thou heardest them from heaven, and many times didst thou deliver them according to thy mercies, and testifiedst against them, and thou mightest bring them again unto the law. Yet they dealt proudly, and hearkened not unto thy commandments, but sinned against thy judgments, which if a man do, he shall live in them, and withdrew the shoulder, and hardened their neck, and would not hear. Yet many years didst thou forbear them, and testifiedst against them by thy Spirit in thy prophets, yet would they not give ear. Therefore gavest thou them into the hand of the people of the lands. Nevertheless, for thy great mercy's sake, thou didst not utterly consume them, nor forsake them, for thou art a gracious and merciful mighty God. Now, therefore, our KJV AHAYAH, the great, the mighty, and the terrible God, who keepeth covenant and mercy, let not all the trouble seem little before thee, that had come upon us, on our kings, on our princes, and on our priests, and on our prophets, and on our fathers, and on all thy people, since the time of the kings of Assyria unto this day. Howbeit thou art just in all that is brought upon us. For thou hast done right, but we have done wickedly. Neither have our kings, our princes, our priests, nor our fathers kept thy law, nor hearkened unto thy commandments and thine testimonies, wherewith thou didst testify against them. But they have not served thee in their kingdom, and in thy great goodness that thou gavest them, and in the large of fat land which thou gavest before them, neither turn they from their wicked works. Behold, we are servants this day, and for the land that thou gavest unto our fathers to eat the fruit thereof, and the good thereof. Behold, we are servants in it. And it yielded much increase unto the kings whom thou hast set over us, because of our sins. Also they have dominion over our bodies, and over our cattle, at their pleasure, and we are in great distress. And because of all this, we make a sure covenant and write it, and our princes, Levites, and priests sealed unto it. And we're going to stop at chapter 9, and we will continue with chapter 10 tomorrow. Thank you for listening.